My name is Jack Turner, and if there's one thing I don't tolerate, it's someone treating my land like it's optional. I've lived just outside Brookfield my entire life. My ranch isn't just property, it's something my family built from nothing. Every fence post, every road, every section of land has a purpose. And more importantly, it has a boundary. On the southern side of my property sits Silver Ridge Estates, a newer HOA development. Perfect streets, identical houses, and rules for everything you can think of. And running that HOA, Karen Whitfield. Karen believed rules gave her authority. And over time she started acting like that authority didn't stop at her neighborhood gates. For years we had no issues, until one morning changed everything. It was just after sunrise. The kind of quiet morning where you can hear wind moving across the field. I stepped outside with my coffee, looked across the lower pasture, and immediately noticed something wrong. The ground wasn't smooth. There were marks. Deep ones. I walked a little closer, and stopped. Tire tracks. Not normal ones. These were wide, heavy, the kind you only see from industrial vehicles, and they were fresh. I didn't like that. I got in my truck and followed them. They led straight toward the southern fence line, the side closest to Silver Ridge Estates. As I got closer, I started seeing more damage. Grass torn up, mud pushed aside, then I saw the fence. Or what used to be the fence. A full section had been flattened, wooden posts snapped, wire fencing crushed into the dirt like it was nothing. They didn't just cross onto my land, they forced their way in. And then I saw them. 6 heavy trucks, 4 dump trucks and 2 long flatbeds parked right in the center of my field. No drivers, no workers, just sitting there like they belonged. For a few seconds I didn't move. I just stared at them, trying to understand how someone could think this was okay. Then I walked closer. Each truck had markings on the side, construction company logos, and on one of the mirrors, a laminated tag. Silver Ridge Estates authorized use. I let out a slow breath. Of course, I didn't get angry right away. I got quiet, because I knew exactly who made this decision, and I knew exactly how I was going to handle it. I got back in my truck and drove straight to the HOA office. Karen was inside, going through paperwork like it was any normal day. She looked up when I walked in. "You parked trucks on my land," I said. No greeting, no small talk, just the truth. She didn't even look surprised. "We needed temporary space," she replied calmly. I stared at her. "You broke my fence. We'll repair it. You trespassed. It's unused land." Jack, there it was again, unused. I stepped closer. "That land belongs to me." She leaned back slightly. "It's not being actively used." That was the moment I realized something. She didn't think she did anything wrong in her mind. She was justified. That made things simple. I nodded once, turned around, and walked out. No argument. No warning, because I was done talking. The next morning I checked again. The trucks hadn't moved. That confirmed everything. They weren't planning to move them quickly. They were planning to use my land like it was part of their construction site. So I acted. First I went to the main entrance of my ranch, the only proper access road wide enough for those trucks. I shut the gate. Then I chained it. Heavy steel chain. Industrial lock. No one was opening that without me. Then I drove to the broken fence section. Reinforced it with steel posts and temporary barriers. No gaps, no weak spots. Now there was only one access point left, and it was locked. Those trucks were officially stuck. By midday Karen showed up. This time, she wasn't calm. "What did you do?" she demanded. "I secured my property," I said. "Our trucks are inside. I know you need to open that gate immediately." "No," her face tightened. "You can't trap our equipment." I looked at her calmly. "You shouldn't have put it there." She stepped closer. "You're interfering with construction. You trespassed." She tried everything after that. Threats, legal claims, even acting like I was the one causing the problem. But I didn't move because I hadn't taken anything. I hadn't touched those trucks. I just locked my land. And that's completely legal. The next day, things escalated. Construction workers gathered near the gate. Phones started ringing. Karen kept calling. Messages, warnings. I ignored all of it. Instead, I made one call. The county. I reported unauthorized commercial vehicles on private property, trespassing, property damage. That's all it took. Within hours, county officials arrived. They inspected the fence, photographed the damage, checked the trucks. Then one of them asked the question that ended everything. "Do they have permission to be here?" "No," I said. Karen tried to speak. "They belong to the HOA." The official cut her off. "That's not what I asked." Silence, because she didn't have permission and she never did. That changed everything, because now it wasn't HOA rules, it was law. And the county enforces law. After reviewing everything, they made a decision. The trucks would be seized right there. Tow units were called. Not normal ones. Heavy-duty recovery vehicles. Designed for equipment that size, one by one. Those trucks were hooked up and pulled out. Slowly, publicly, officially. The same trucks Karen parked on my land like it didn't matter were now being taken under county authority. The look on her face changed completely. No control, no confidence, because now she wasn't in charge. The county was. Over the next few weeks, everything collapsed for the HOA. The companies that owned the trucks filed complaints. Insurance got involved. Investigations started. The HOA was held responsible for trespassing, property damage, and unauthorized use of private land, repair costs for my fence, restoration of the land, legal penalties, and the cost tied to those seized trucks. It added up fast, really fast. Board members started stepping down, construction slowed, and Karen resigned before things got worse. A few months later, everything was quiet again. The fence stood stronger than before. The field recovered. And Silver Ridge Estate stayed exactly where it belonged, on its side of the line. Sometimes people ask me why I didn't just open the gate and let them take their trucks, why I didn't make it easier. The answer is simple. Because if you let someone cross your boundary once, they'll do it again, and again, until there's nothing left to protect. That day, Karen learned something she should have understood from the beginning. My land isn't extra space. It isn't unused, and it definitely isn't hers. And the moment you treat it like it is the moment you lose control of everything.